So Eskom has got a universal access to electricity mandate. I think it's a country mandate. However, there's still, access of 8 million people without electricity. And that cannot be, especially in 2025. Social access and upliftment is core and critical. And it's not about just giving people access to power, but it's coming together and making sure that energy is now a catalyst for economic change in these communities. On the 22nd of December that same year, we completely electrified the area using this solution. It was the first time that I had access to power. So the equivalent was, if Eskom distribution had to go and try to electrify this community, it was to build an excess of 200 kilometers of 132 kV lines. There was a Godinia substation, Nuniput substation. Estimated cost was over 400 million rand. This alternative cost less than 5 million rand. By utilizing active load management, we can actively change the amount of current that is drawn per household to ensure that you at least have essential loads that are operating on the house.
Basically, in South Africa, you're not allowed to send any PV modules to a landfill, so they have to be recycled or reused in some way. But ideally, there is a lot of potential for modules to be reused. By reducing waste, there's simple things like preventing modules from being damaged and ensuring they have as long a lifetime as possible, and also looking at the quality of the modules that are used. So there has to be a sufficient amount of time for it to be beneficial. The only way you can actually trust what the modules are is by a process of testing them. So there is an international standard. It's a non-prescriptive standard that looks at the reuse of PV modules, and that really specifically focuses on the sampling, the tests, and the thresholds for its acceptance and adaptation. So any amount of testing is expensive and labor intensive, and it involves resources and time. So ideally that needs to be as minimal as possible, while still ensuring that modules are safe to reuse.